Hey everyone, ready to build something
It's
awesome?
exciting.
We're going deep on how to ace that building materials shop manager interview.
That's right. Using real insights and questions from RoleCatcher. Think of this as your secret weapon.
RoleCatcher's really all about giving you that extra edge, right?
Absolutely. They have those amazing career guides. Plus, they've got AI that can actually help tailor your answers to specific jobs.
Super cool. So, first things first, let's paint a picture for our listeners. What does a building materials shop manager actually do?
Well, it's definitely not just about stacking lumber, right?
Haha,
Yeah.
no. I'm guessing it's a lot more dynamic than that.
It is. I mean, think about it. You're basically the conductor of this whole symphony. You've got tools and materials and people.
We're keeping everything running smoothly.
Exactly. You oversee those daily operations, you're leading your team, and you're the one making sure that customers get what they need, to actually build their projects, whether it's like a simple deck or a whole new house.
Wow, so you're juggling customer service, inventory, maybe even some marketing stuff too.
Absolutely. All of that and more. And the cool thing is, this role has some serious potential for growth. Rolecatcher's guides actually show how you can start as a sales assistant and work your way up to assistant manager, store manager, and even regional manager, overseeing multiple locations.
Okay, now I'm really seeing that potential. But let's be real for a second. Getting that first management role all comes down to nailing that interview.
You got it.
RoleCatcher has all these awesome sample interview questions, and get this, they've used their AI to analyze tons of real job descriptions, making these questions super realistic.
Very cool.
Ready to dive into those?
Let's do it.
Okay, so first one up is, tell us about your previous experience managing a building material shop. Seems pretty straightforward, but what are they really looking for here?
Yeah, it's a classic, isn't it? They basically want to know if you've walked the walk. It's not just about having retail experience, it's about showing that you've got specific knowledge of this industry.
Makes sense.
So think about things like, did you handle contractor accounts in the past? Were you involved in ordering those specialized materials? What makes building materials unique compared to, say, working in fashion retail?
Hmm, that's a great point.
You have to think about the customer, right?
So even if I haven't managed a building materials shop specifically, I should highlight any experiences that are relevant.
Exactly. Maybe you've worked in construction before, or maybe you're like a total DIY enthusiast in your free time.
Yeah.
It's all about connecting those dots for the interviewer, showing them that you understand the world that their customers live in.
Show them you get it.
Yeah.
And so how can RoleCatcher's AI actually help me tailor my answer for a specific job opening?
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. Let's say, hypothetically, a job description really emphasizes customer service.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's AI can actually flag that and then suggest that you focus on experiences where you went above and beyond for a customer, right? Maybe someone who had a really tricky building project.
I see, I see.
It helps you hit those key points that really matter to this employer.
That makes a lot of sense. So basically, for this first question, I need to showcase my relevant experience, right? And then demonstrate a genuine understanding of the building materials industry.
Exactly. And don't forget the numbers.
The numbers.
Did you increase sales in a past role? Did you streamline inventory? Quantify your accomplishments? Numbers make your story so much stronger.
Numbers are powerful.
They are.
Okay, got it. Let's move on to question number 2. How do you ensure your team provides excellent customer service? I feel like this one's huge in any retail setting. But what nuances should I be thinking about when it comes to building materials specifically?
Well, you're dealing with a different kind of customer here, right?
Yeah.
You've got the contractor who needs a very specific type of lumber. You've got the homeowner who might be totally overwhelmed by their renovation project. It's not just about being friendly. You have to be knowledgeable. You have to be a problem solver.
Right. You have to provide solutions.
Yeah.
So I need to show that I can train my team to be more than just cashiers, essentially.
Exactly.
They need to be like those advisors.
Yes. Talk about how you would empower your team to build that expertise.
Okay.
Maybe you'd organize some product knowledge sessions with suppliers. Or what about creating a mentorship program where, experienced staff can guide those newer team members?
Cool. And RoleCatcher can help personalize this answer too.
Oh, absolutely. The AI can analyze the job description, right? And then suggest certain customer service skills to highlight. So, for example, if the role involves working with high-value clients, it might suggest you mention experience with conflict resolution or building those strong client relationships.
Okay, so I'm showing them I can build a team that gets the unique needs of building material customers.
Exactly. A knowledgeable and helpful team is golden in this industry. It builds customer loyalty and it drives sales.
All right, moving on to question number 3. Can you tell us about a time when you had to deal with a difficult customer? I feel like this one's a classic in any retail interview, but are there any specific challenges I should keep in mind when it comes to building materials?
Well, remember, the stakes can be a lot higher in building materials,
Yeah.
right?
Higher stakes?
I mean, a mistake with the wrong lumber could delay a whole construction project. Emotions run high. So think about a situation where you stayed calm, you problem solved, maybe even had to navigate some of those tricky technical details to find a solution.
So it's not just about calming someone down, it's about showing I can handle the technical side of the products too.
Exactly. So have you ever had to, explain the difference between pressure-treated lumber and regular lumber to a frustrated customer? Or maybe help someone figure out the right type of fastener for their project?
Right.
Those kinds of stories really stand out.
What if the job description specifically mentions dealing with contractors? Could RoleCatcher's AI help tailor my answer to that?
For sure. The AI might suggest that you focus on a time when you resolved a conflict with a demanding contractor. Maybe even one that involved a really time-sensitive order.
Okay.
Really zero in on the specific challenges that this role might present.
I'm already thinking about specific examples from my past that would work well here.
That's what we want. The more specific and relevant your examples are, the better you'll showcase your understanding of the role.
Okay, on to question number 4. How do you manage inventory and ensure that stock levels are optimized? This one feels a bit more on the technical side. What are they really trying to gauge here?
It's not like stocking shelves with t-shirts, right?
Right.
You've got bulky lumber, you've got seasonal items. Sometimes you're dealing with huge orders for these massive construction projects. They want to know you can handle that complexity.
So it's more than just knowing how to use an inventory management system.
Definitely.
It's about understanding how unique the demands are in the building materials market.
Exactly. Talk about how you would forecast demand, manage those relationships with suppliers, maybe even strategize around getting bulk discounts to keep costs down.
Smart. I'm guessing RoleCatcher's AI can help me tie my past experiences to these specific needs as well.
Oh, absolutely. If the job description's all about cost control, the AI might suggest you highlight a time when you successfully negotiated with suppliers to reduce expenses, or maybe implemented a whole new inventory system that minimized waste.
That's cool. It's really helping me see how important it is to go beyond those generic answers.
Yes.
Really tailor my responses to what they're looking for.
Exactly. It really is. And, speaking of those unique demands, let's move on to a question that gets at the heart of leadership in this industry.
Okay.
How do you motivate and develop your team members? We've talked about how it's not just about ringing up those sales, right?
Definitely not. You need a team that can advise on complex projects, handle those deliveries, maybe even operate some specialized equipment. So how do I show I can build that kind of capable team?
Well, think about it this way. You're not just managing tasks, You're cultivating expertise.
Okay.
So maybe you'd create a training program where your senior staff mentor new hires on product knowledge. Or perhaps you'd encourage cross-training so everyone understands, all the different aspects of the business.
Yeah, makes sense. And I bet this is where RoleCatcher's AI can really shine, right? It can help connect my past leadership experiences to those specific needs outlined in the job description.
Exactly. If the job description really emphasizes teamwork, RoleCatcher might suggest you highlight a time when you fostered collaboration to achieve a specific goal. Maybe even share a story about how your team, successfully completed a challenging project together.
Okay, so I'm not just telling them I'm a good leader. I'm actually showing them how my leadership style directly addresses the needs of a building materials team.
That's it. And don't forget about the power of positive reinforcement and recognition.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Highlighting your approach to creating that supportive and rewarding work environment. That can go a long way in this industry, especially when you're dealing with such demanding work.
All right, the next question is, can you tell us about a time when you had to take disciplinary action with a team member? This one always feels a bit tricky to navigate. What's the best way to approach it in this context?
Well, you have to remember, you're dealing with safety-sensitive situations in this kind of environment.
Right.
Maybe someone wasn't following proper lifting procedures, or they mishandled a hazardous material. So choose an example that shows your commitment to safety, but also your ability to address issues fairly and effectively.
Okay, so it's about finding that balance, right?
Yeah.
Showing I can enforce the rules while still maintaining a positive and respectful work environment.
Exactly. And be really clear about the steps that you took. Did you provide additional training? Did you document the incident? Really highlight that process of handling these situations professionally and, of course, in line with company policy.
And again, I'm assuming RoleCatcher's AI can help me tailor this answer to a specific company's values.
Oh, absolutely. If the job description really emphasizes safety, the AI might suggest that you choose an example that showcases your commitment to maintaining a safe work environment. It helps you align your answer with what they care about.
Okay, moving on to a question that's really specific to building materials. How do you ensure that the store is compliant with safety regulations? This seems like a big deal given, all the products and materials involved.
It is a big deal. I mean, you're working with heavy equipment, potentially hazardous materials. There are a lot of moving parts, literally.
Yeah.
So think about how you go beyond just basic compliance and really create a culture of safety in the store.
Okay, so should I talk about things like regular safety inspections,
Yeah.
maybe training programs for employees, implementing a system for reporting potential hazards?
All of that. And highlight your knowledge of those specific regulations. Are you up to speed on OSHA standards for handling lumber? Do you know the local fire codes related to storing flammable materials? Show them you understand the ins and outs of safety in this industry.
Got it. And I'm assuming RoleCatcher can help me emphasize the safety skills that are most relevant to the job.
Of course. If the job description mentions any specific safety certifications or training, the AI might suggest you highlight those qualifications in your answer. It's all about showing you're ready to go.
Okay, I'm really getting a clear sense of how important safety is in this role
It's crucial.
and how I can really showcase my commitment to maintaining a safe work environment. All right, let's tackle the next question. How do you manage budgets and ensure that the store meets financial targets? This one feels, a little more pressure-filled. What are they really looking for here?
They want to know if you understand the financial side of the business.
Okay.
I mean, building materials can be expensive, right?
Yeah.
And the margins can be tight. So show them you can manage that inventory efficiently, that you can control those costs and make those smart decisions that are going to drive profitability.
So it's not just about sticking to a budget. It's about understanding how all these different factors like material costs, seasonal demand, can actually impact the store's financial performance.
Exactly. Did you ever have to adjust pricing strategies because of market fluctuations or negotiate, better terms with suppliers to reduce expenses? Those examples really show your financial know-how.
Okay, and RoleCatcher's AI, can it help me highlight the financial management skills that are most relevant to the job?
Absolutely. If the job description mentions specific software or systems used for financial tracking, the AI might suggest you mention your experience with those tools. It shows you're ready to hit the ground running.
This is fantastic. I'm seeing how RoleCatcher can really help connect those dots between my past experiences and the specific needs of this role.
It's all about showcasing those skills in a way that resonates with the employer. And speaking of showcasing your skills, let's move on to a question that really tests your adaptability. Can you tell us about a time when you had to lead a team through a major change or transition?
Okay, this sounds like it could be a bit tricky. What kind of change should I talk about?
Think about something significant that impacted your team and really required you to step up as a leader, right?
Okay.
Maybe it was a new inventory system, maybe a change in company policy, maybe even a whole store remodel. The point is to demonstrate that you can manage change effectively and guide your team through those uncertain times.
So it's not just about describing the change, it's about highlighting how I handled those challenges and kept my team motivated and focused.
Exactly. Did you have to provide extra training? Did you address any concerns or resistance from the team?
Right.
Did you communicate effectively to keep everyone informed and on the same page? Those details are really what impress the interviewer.
Could RoleCatcher's AI help me choose an example that, aligns with the company's values?
For sure. If the job description emphasizes innovation or adaptability, the AI might suggest you choose an example that shows your ability to embrace change and lead your team through a successful transition. It really helps you demonstrate that you're the kind of leader they're looking for.
This is really helpful. I'm starting to see those specific examples from my past in a whole new light.
Yeah.
It's not just about what I did, it's about how those experiences connect to what they need.
That's the power of preparation and
Yeah.
using the right tools.
Absolutely.
And speaking of staying ahead of the curve, let's move on to our final interview question.
Okay, so we're on the final question for our building materials shop manager interview prep.
All right, let's do it.
This one seems super important for staying ahead of the game.
No.
How do you stay up to date with Industry trends and new products. I mean, there's so much happening in building materials these days. This feels like a must-have skill.
It totally is. Think about it. New materials are coming out all the time. Energy efficient solutions are huge right now. Smart home tech is becoming a thing. It's constantly evolving, you know. They want to see that you're passionate about this stuff. You're not just like there to punch the clock.
Yeah, makes sense. So it's about showing them I'm a lifelong learner, that I'm genuinely curious about what's next in building materials.
Exactly. Do you subscribe to industry magazines like Building Products Digest? Do you go to conferences? Maybe you even like geek out on those manufacturer webinars about the latest insulation tech.
Haha, yep. I do all those things.
Paint that picture for them.
Okay, so be specific about how I stay informed. What about connecting those trends to what's actually happening in the real world?
Great point. So maybe you learned about a new type of eco-friendly flooring and you pitched it to your team. Or maybe you saw that prefab construction was becoming a thing and you started stocking products related to that.
Right.
You know, show them you don't just learn about it, you actually apply it.
Turn knowledge into action.
Exactly.
And, of course, I'm assuming RoleCatcher's AI can help me highlight those experiences that match up with what the job's looking for.
100%. So let's say the job description talks a lot about sustainability. The AI might nudge you to talk about examples related to like eco-friendly products or practices. It's all about showing you're the right fit for their needs.
This has been so helpful. I feel like I've gotten a much better grasp on what it takes to be successful as a building material shop manager.
I'm glad to hear it.
And I really have a solid plan for how to tackle those interview questions.
That's awesome. Remember, preparation is key.
Absolutely.
Review these insights, practice those answers, and definitely use those RoleCatcher tools to refine your approach.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher has so much more to offer.
Right.
Their career guides dive deep into different roles in the industry. They talk about salary expectations and even those career progression pathways.
It's like having a personal career coach in your pocket, honestly.
Yeah. So to everyone out there getting ready for that building material shop manager interview, we hope this deep dive has given you the tools and the confidence to totally rock it.
Go get 'em.
Remember, it's not just about answering those questions perfectly. It's about showing your passion for this industry. It's about showing your expertise and showing that you can lead.
And remember, this is just the beginning.
Yeah, it's a journey.
Landing that job is fantastic, but the real adventure starts when you step into that leadership role and start making a difference. Good luck out there. You got this.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been fun.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep building towards that dream career.